Oh boy, Jesse Lee Peterson attacked yours truly. So this is actually hilarious and really fun, and I enjoyed watching this. So first, I'll show you a little piece of the clip here. The clip is much longer than this, but this is, whatever, the relevant parts of it. So let's watch this, and then I'll come back and tell you the reality.
Apparently, there's some guy by the name of Kyle
Kulinski
who said that I was invited to debate him and turned it down. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what he said.
But it's not true.
I know.
I'm not aware of that at all. Really, folks. I'm not aware of this one iota. This is the first time I'm ever hearing about this.
Nor is Kelly, who coordinated all of your speaking engagements at Politicon. FYI.
So tell us the whole story.
So the story goes that Dylon, I first learned about this guy. I had seen him on YouTube sometimes, but Dylon really wanted to get him on the show, among others that he's tried to get on, and said that he never responded. He's never responded.
And then what's his next soundbite?
So the next soundbite is actually at the event where he's sitting on a panel, and you see Sally Cohn, the lesbian whom you've debated.
Lesbian! I did. She was so nice at the Politicon.
Yeah,
it was good to see her.
And she mentioned that your former intern, Dylon, made a scene again. And apparently it was here. So Dylon went on the Q&A and is asking Kyle, hey, I heard that Ann Coulter backed out with you, which sucks, but I've invited you 5 times at least to the Jesse Lee Peterson show. So will you debate him? And then Kyle says, well, I invited him. Not like that, because I invited him and he declined, or he said no. So that's what this is going to say.
Amazing.
And everybody's like, whoa! They're cheering.
Wow, go ahead.
Go ahead. Kyle, I've heard that you were willing to debate Ann Coulter. You were all excited, and then she backed out.
Yeah.
That's lame, but I work for Jesse Lee Peterson, and I've tried to get you on his show like 5 times. Sally did it. She had a great time.
You do this every year, man. All right, let someone ask you a question.
Would you be willing to debate her?
Not only that, I floated a debate with him when Ann Coulter backed out, and he said no.
Let me go to high five. That's amazing. Well, I don't know which way he floated it, but it sure didn't come down to the river toward me.
I don't know how people think this is believable.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I want you to know, now, maybe there's a possibility he floated it to Politicon. Maybe. But this is my first time hearing about it when James told me about it, folks. I would love to have debated. There's no one I'm afraid to debate. No one on this side of heaven, at least. And even in heaven, call me. I have no idea what this man is talking about, none. So tell him he's lying. Now, I don't want to completely call him a liar, because it's just possible maybe since Politicon was putting on the event,
maybe somebody there.
He had floated it to them, but it never made it down to me or over to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know anything about it. I never turned that down because I never heard about it. I would have loved to. This little guy is a beta male. Why wouldn't I debate him?
Oh, Jesse. All I'll say is being a beta male is still preferable to unwittingly carrying water for far right-wing white racists. And I used to think, and he actually showed a clip of me talking about this, like, oh, I don't even know if Jesse believes what he's saying, because the role he's playing is very lucrative, being the black guy that shits on other black people and having right-wing people, like, adore you. So I used to say, I'm not sure if he believes what he's saying. No, I've totally flipped my opinion on that, or at least I've come to a conclusion. I think he genuinely believes what he's talking about, which might even be sadder, that he's an unwitting water carrier for far right-wing white racists. And anybody who's familiar with this show They know something about this show. I am one of the last on the left to talk about race because I'm actually against identity politics. I don't believe identity politics makes sense as an electoral strategy. I don't think it's where the predominant focus of the Democratic Party should be. So as somebody who's on the left but against identity politics, I rarely, if ever, bring up the issue of race. But when you have a guy who's out there saying, and I'm not kidding about this, Jesse Lee Peterson literally said this, he said racism doesn't exist.
You ready for this? It's a doozy.
I'm ready.
It's 2018 in America. Does racism exist?
Absolutely not. And it has never existed.
Whoa!
It has never.
Whoa!
It's a made-up word.
Objectively, factually, empirically incorrect. So yeah, I'm going to mock you. That's exactly what I'm going to do because you are basically saying the exact things that far right-wing racists would want to hear a black guy say, and apparently you don't even realize it, that this is the role you're playing. So I'll leave that there, but now let's get to the substance of what he's saying. Now, to be fair to Jesse, he did say there, well, I can't totally call him a liar. Maybe he floated it to Politicon. But as you could tell, he's skeptical. By the way, when I went to the comment section here, everybody in the comment section, unanimous, was like, oh, he's a liar, 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 he's a liar. Of course he's a liar. He's on the left. Fucking children of the lie or whatever goofy shit his audience calls people on the left. So everybody's mind is made up. Jesse, to his credit, is a little bit like, well, maybe he's not a liar. Maybe he did float it. Now, I have to say, I don't want to do what I'm about to do. I don't like showing private correspondence because it's private. And it's something that, I wouldn't do under almost any other circumstance. But I'm basically being smeared here and slandered. And they're floating the idea that potentially I'm a liar. Hey, listen, I don't give a shit who you are. If you've watched this show more than 3 times, there's one thing you're going to walk away from this show knowing. That dude doesn't lie. That dude is honest. Agree or disagree with me. You watch this show and you go, oh, he's telling me exactly how he sees it. There's not an inkling of falsehood in what he's saying. There's not an ounce of being disingenuous. Everything comes from the heart. Everything is exactly what he believes, even if I disagree with him. So, and by the way, Jesse Lee, he was like, I don't know who this guy is. Damn, Jesse, I gave you more credit than that. Because honestly, of all the people I floated to debate at Politicon, I thought, well, I mean, Jesse Lee, he has his ear to the internet. He has his ear to the streets. He knows, who's big in the political sphere online. Apparently, I gave Jesse too much credit because he swears he doesn't know who I am, and I believe him. So that just means he's not as in tune with what's happening in the political world and online as I thought he was. So anyway, without further ado, I will now prove my case. He's not sure I floated a debate with him. Well, take a look at these text messages. This is with the high-level figure at Politicon. Again, I don't like showing this, but I have to show this because it's very important. Take note of the date, Monday, October 8th. So this was when we were trying to iron out all the details in terms of after Ann Coulter backed out. Oh my God, who are we going to debate? We got to figure it out. Take a look at that. Here's the list I floated. Ideas. Adam Carolla, Tommy Lauren, Jesse Lee Peterson, Michael Steele, Bill Kristol, Ben Shapiro, David Frum, Chris Christie, Scotty Nell Hughes. Any of them on any issues. Then I hear back, okay, I think we're good. Waiting on confirmation back from a debate partner. Michael Steele, David Frum, and Jesse Lee in that order. I'm going to send you a proposed schedule in the meantime with a placeholder for the debate. Cool? I say, sounds good. The more issues, the better for the debate. I can, and then whatever the fuck else I said there. I think I said something like I can debate any of the issues with any of them. Then I hear back, they all passed. The list I sent you had like 6 people, I said. All of them won't do it? The response was, let me ask Scotty. That's the only one I forgot. I said, I'm going to list them again, and you can tell me if literally all of these people passed. And then here was the response. Ideas, Adam Carolla, only doing one thing Sunday afternoon. Tommy Lauren, pass. Jesse Lee Peterson, pass. Michael Steele, pass. Bill Kristol, pass. Ben Shapiro, no debate this year. David Frum, passed. Chris Christie, Saturday only and no debates. Scotty Nell Hughes, comma, and then I said Bill Kristol, ask him, and then I didn't realize that, Bill Kristol passed as well. And then it was soon after that I heard that Scotty Nell Hughes agreed and approved. Again, thank you, Scotty, for stepping in and being the only person on the right that had the balls to debate me at Politicon. So, Jesse, this is the reality. You can clearly see I floated you, and you can clearly see that they said you passed. Now, the final point and the most important point here. Let me state this. I believe Jesse. I do. I'm not just saying that. I don't think Jesse is lying about this now. I think Jesse would have said yes, and I don't think my floating of him got through to him. I don't. Now, I don't know whether it stalled at Politicon and they didn't ask him, or another possibility is whoever handles this on Jesse's end heard that it was me and said, no, I'm going to axe Kyle without even asking Jesse if Jesse wants to debate Kyle. But here's what's for damn sure. I floated your name and I was told that you passed. Hence, exactly what I said at Politicon on that panel is exactly correct. Now, again, I want to be clear. I believe you, Jesse. I believe you. I don't think you heard me floating it. But now you know that on my end, I did float it and I was told that you passed. Now, in terms of them reaching out to me, I also believe them on that front. I think that they probably reached out to me. But here's the reality. I never saw it. And I never saw it because, and you could ask anybody about this, I'm hard to get a hold of. Why? Because most of the time I'm busy and I'm working and I'm tied up on 1,000 different things. And I literally can't even if I wanted to, and even if I put forth a colossal effort, there's no way I could, get all of the messages that come to me. Are you kidding me? Between the Facebook page, Twitter, email, all the outlets of people reaching out to me and people, trying to get on the show or trying to have me on their show. And another thing about me that, again, if you follow the show for a long time, you know this, I'm a little bit like, in terms of scheduling, I'm a little bit like the Rush Limbaugh of the left. As in Rush Limbaugh, he's notoriously hard to get a hold of, and he doesn't like doing things outside of his own show and doing interviews outside of his own show. And it's super rare that you see Rush Limbaugh in some outlet where he's getting interviewed or he's debating somebody. He's mostly just doing his own thing in his own studio. That's me. That's me. I mostly do my own thing in my own studio. Very rarely do I make appearances elsewhere. Very rarely do people come on here. And that's just the nature of what I do and how I do it. I'm not sure the medium in which they reached out to me, but I guarantee you I never saw a single message from Jesse Lee Peterson and his people. I didn't see a single one from them. But again, I believe them that they reached out. So what I will do here, and perhaps I shouldn't do this, perhaps it's a waste of time, perhaps many of you will say, why would you even bother? But what I will do here, to make up for the fact that I said Jesse passed in the debate, and he did not pass in the debate. I believe him when he says he did not. I just don't think it got to him. But to make up for that, Jesse, what I will do is I will offer to come on your show. And you can interview me however you'd like to interview me. If you want to end up debating, we'll end up debating. You bring up the topic and we'll go off. Okay, so I will reach out to come on your show. Now, by the way, let me also add, this is not something I normally do. Again, I just told you guys, I don't usually go on other people's show. People don't usually come on my show. I'm mostly in the studio doing my own thing, in the lab doing my own thing. So I just don't want anybody else out there to think like, oh, now Kyle's going to appear on every single far right-wing clown show and let's fucking float 8,000 different shows from to go on. No. You guys know I don't even really like debate. I think it's the WWE of intellectual pursuits. I think it's largely a waste of time, but I only do it because you guys want me to do it so much that I figured, okay, you know what? I'll do it at a rare instance like at Politicon or something like that. But a bar outside of Politicon, I don't like, I'll go on somebody's show and have fucking 3 of their people at the same time ambush me with some bullshit while they're Googling shit behind the scenes and I'm sitting there. No, it's just silly. And I don't know why I would put myself in a situation like that when I could do it in an official way, a legit way, where if you want to actually debate, okay, let's debate. Let's have, you and me standing on a stage at Politicon, or like I floated to Politicon, I'm even fine with 2 verse 1 or 3 verse 1, as long as it's in an official setting where there's a moderator and where I know that these idiots aren't Googling and fact-checking on shitty Breitbart or Daily Caller where the facts aren't even facts. So anyway, I digress from all that. I'll make this one exception for you, Jesse Lee. You want me to come on your show? You want to do an interview? You want to end up framing some questions in a preposterous way where you want me to respond and play along with your goofy game? By all means, Jesse, I'll do that. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I actually do feel bad that I said that you passed, because I have to admit, even though I was told you passed, and that's what I believed at the time, you never struck me as a dude that would pass on a situation like that. So of all the names that I floated, I was actually most surprised that I heard you passed, because I didn't think you would. And now I know you probably didn't. So that's where we are now. When this segment drops, I'll follow Jesse Lee Peterson on Twitter. I'll send him a little DM, and we'll take it from there. I'm going to leave the link to the full video that Jesse did about me here in the video description box. I'll let you guys watch the whole thing. And then you determine if you want to leave a little comment, leave a little like or dislike.